Okay, so this might be a note to self, and it might be uh, I'll upload it to YouTube anywhere as a note, but just a funny thing. So a little back, but not too far background. I did this. I keep saying This is the second time I've noticed it. So I did the Elevated Existence Spiritual Summit with Tammy Mastroberti, I think is how you pronounce her last name. Mastroberti? Yeah. So, in preparation for that, I've just had an interesting day with synchronicity and just in general. It's just been a really good day, and which ironically, it's the anniversary of my mom's death today. Her birthday is February 22nd. Today's March 10th. And a quick background to put it in a little more perspective. My mom has a history with Woody Harrelson to an extent, but as a marijuana activist. So they, had some interactions and, smoked together and spoken at, conferences or whatever. But so I'm just trying to get all this in here because this just happened. I just grabbed my camera. So I did this seminar thing earlier today, and it was really helpful. I had sent an email ahead of time a couple days ago saying, wow, like I just happened to have found it, and it was on the anniversary of my mom's death, and the woman, Tammy, her whole sort of spiritual life opened up when her mom died. I haven't read her book yet, but I just bought it today. And, she started the universe. The name of the book is The Universe is Speaking to You, or with you, to you. And clearly I didn't prepare for this. If I had planned ahead, I would have these things probably like written down and I would know them. But anyway, really good thing. She started receiving messages. I found her last year, like for the first time, and then sort of like just got in the doing my life and my thing and whatnot, and was like, oh yeah, the spiritual summit, Elevated Existence Summit, was around this time last year. And so I looked it up and found it, and then sure enough, she was doing this webinar oracle card reading today. And so I had sent her an email, just gave her a little bit of background, about my mom, channeling my sort of intuitive abilities and what I'm doing, and asking if, basically, I was asking for a little outside perspective from another person who the universe talks to, but who does that professionally and daily and whatnot. So, because I get it all the time, but I've been going through a little bit of a weird like funk, and I'm coming out the other side of that. But so I was just explaining that, I had been in a funk and really just kind of wanting a message, a communication from someone else, not just direct from the source, not my mom directly talking to me, or the universe saying, do this or pay attention, because that's just, whoopsie, my thing just ended. And so, all right, let me get back to it. Shit.
Fine. That means it's time to start screening for colon cancer.
So there was a thing about, I'm just going to try to boop, boop, boop. So the thing this morning, did that, and then got some real clarity and had a huge breakthrough, because the way it works is when somebody's doing a group reading, if you're paying attention, like a lot of people are like, they're so focused on their question. Like people are like, am I going to get this new job? Or can I blah, blah, blah. And, unless you're talking to a full on psychic, even my mom, who was a trance channel, I don't know what Kuan Yin did, because she was very, and now that I know what I know, she was, I don't know if she gave like predictions. The closest thing that I can recall is from my memory, my bugging her about, will this happen? When will it happen? And she gave me 10, she said 10 years, and it will be like you're walking around a corner and you bump into this person. And it ended up being on social media, because when I asked the question, social media wasn't a thing yet. So anyway, but back to this morning, like people were asking specific questions, and depending on your level of awareness, like I know that other people's questions, the answers that Tammy was getting to those questions would be answers directed at me as well. Or maybe I'm just super narcissistic, but I don't think that's the case. But somebody asked a question and got an answer, and it just struck me personally. It was about some childhood stuff, or it just resonated really intensely with me, and was the answer that I was looking for, or I guess I needed, didn't realize that I needed. But then I was writing some notes and listening to, because I couldn't find her website. I knew she did these weekly YouTube videos, but I couldn't find them. I could only find, old ones. Here, let me pause this and unpause it real quick. But I happened to find those. I was like, oh, yay. And so I was listening to one of them. It might have been one from last week. It was recent, and it was about, I don't remember what the exact topic was, but it was something about specifically you loved ones, you'll know that they're communicating because their name will come up. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I knew that a while ago and I forgot it, but it was just like, oh, yay, because I've got certain symbols and know that I can ask for certain symbols or signs or synchronicities, and they will happen. And I practiced that with Riley, and she did her first test. It was something super funky and crazy far out, like it was a gecko on a volcano or something. And sure enough, like there was an ad, or I was reading an article about this ancient lizard that they found, something like that. And I was like, oh my God. But so anyway, that was the thing. I was like, oh, names. But that is not what just happened exactly. But so Woody Harrelson, the mom connection, it's my mom's anniversary. And what he did say during his monologue was about his manager, Jeremy. He's making a joke about, transporting his marijuana from LA to New York. And so the name Jeremy is a boyfriend that I had that my mom had a crush on. So that was the first thing beyond just the Woody Harrelson connection. And then this commercial, I don't even remember now what it was that made me pick this up, but I'm going to play it and maybe I'll pause it. And hopefully it's super obvious. Otherwise, you'll be like, what the fuck was all this, like, whatever. But, okay, let's see.
There's no easier way to do it than with Cologuard. The simple, efficient box delivered straight to your doorstep. Oh, hello. Can I help you? Hi.
Oh, one thing.
A non-invasive way to screen for colon cancer at home. Oh yeah,
the color is definitely like my mom color, the blue, and then also I knew that I had a guardian angel per se, that actually was a guardian angel, and I'm still a little unclear on this, but because my mom isn't alive anymore, and I can't talk to Kuan Yin outside of myself, sort of for confirmation on historical facts and whatnot. But anyway, Kuan Yin told me about my protector, 10-foot tall angel. I think there were two of them, one on each side, and then the name Elohim is all I could remember. But lately, like the past week or so, I've been getting messages about Saint Michael, like stuff on the internet, or I was looking something up, and but I have, for when I've been talking about my mom, I mention that primarily she channeled Kuan Yin, but she also channeled Christ Michael, and blah 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 blah, and it turns out that Christ Michael and Archangel Michael are the same, which that makes sense now that I know it. But but why I paused this is my mom's color blue, my whole angel thing, Tammy angel, because she's very angel centered, and the color blue. So when I tuned into this like Michael awareness, and it clicked, like, oh, that's the same being, the same master, the same angel energy. It was very clear, and I got like loud, very clear words. And that was the thing I read. It was like, if Michael is talking to you, you'll know. And it's like the voice is very like serious and very clear, and the color blue, I guess, is associated. So that was the second thing. But again, like when I'm like, this impromptu, no planning, I forgot exactly, but it was like color blue, blah blah blah, my mom connection. So let's see what's the real reason. Maybe that was it.
Doctor ordered you. That's right, because I'm safe, easy to use, and I find 92% of colon cancers. Okay, cool. How's it work? I just need to collect a sample. So open me up and go inside me. Inside you? Yeah, just go inside me. It's okay. I like it. Are you gonna look at me like that when I do it? Sure. I'm just smiling because I love my job. And I love what you're about to do to me. Yeah, well, I don't love that you have a face and a little mouth. And a name. I'm Thomas.
Oh, that was it. Okay. Thomas, doubting Thomas. That's why this was supposed to be just a note to myself to, I've been trying to remember things that I learned, like, in general. I've read tons of books, and I grew up, in a very open spiritual house. Obviously, my mom started channeling. I was 12. I'm 51. But so note to self, Thomas, doubting Thomas. That was just a personal thing about it was a different name that came up, and because I remembered a tool that Kuan Yin told me, this is decades ago, that I had forgotten about for who knows how long, but at least just 20 plus years, to ring if I wanted to speak to my best friend died when I was a kid. And I was like super distraught and depressed and suicidal, like so depressed. It was beyond. And having access to a channel, I was constantly like wanting to talk to her. And basically, I was told, like, I'm trying to like move on, and I get it, like, and I love you and you love me. There was a whole bunch of, it was complicated grief, for a whole bunch of reasons, but I'm not going to get into all of that. But the tool was to basically picture like a little tiny bell and put it up to my ear and ring it. And that was for Christy. Basically, it was like, if you need to let me like transition and whatnot, and if it's an emergency, basically like ring the bell. But then I just remembered I might have gotten that wrong. The part about me being obsessing and guilt and the focus, the amount of energy, which maybe that was just like a spontaneous thing, for me, just to share that little authentic moment about grief. And I've experienced a lot of grief and loss and death, and starting at a very young age. But just for whatever reason, that came up just now. But the tool was, in general, it may have been for Christy, it may have been, for a couple of people, but it was basically, if I need, maybe it was just if I'm not feeling connected. And I was a kid, so maybe it was just a tool, like a visualization, a practical whatever, because it just clicked. And I'm sort of getting a lot of go back to the beginning, the basics, because like I said, I've read a ton of every kind of Eastern philosophy, and just so much information has gone in my head, and through books and a whole bunch of, obviously, like different stuff that came through Kuan Yin. There's a specific thing about a book my mom channeled that I've been curious if that is going to kind of come back. But we had to burn it. And it was like a faith thing. And I think I was like 18 or 19 when that happened. But I was like, no, I didn't want to like burn it and lose all this information. And I forgot about that until recently, in trying to like, get my own thing together and share it with people. But once again, I'm going a little all around and back again. But so that information, the book, I'm sort of just synthesizing all of this. And oh yeah, I've been trying to like get, bring up memories and stuff, from when I was younger, because there's no sort of outside source that I can talk to and be like, oh hey, because there's a handful of people that experienced my mom channeling, but again, with them, even, there, it's been tons of years. And although I think my friend Sai might have one of her tapes of a channeling session, but that might just be me wishful thinking. Oops, my thing went out again. So yeah, Thomas, that's just how it flows, and I'm just taking you along for the ride.
Doing everything you can to protect the health of your colon, and I get another kind of satisfaction. So go ahead, unload me. Yes, guy, watch.
Oh, that was another thing. Just like, because this was just like, my mom saying hi, talking to me. The UPS man. The UPS man plays a big part in our life, which I didn't even think of that till just now. The UPS man came, but it wasn't the UPS man. And I had a sort of intuitive whatever. I'm like, that's not the UPS man. Something weird is going on. Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. Woody Harrelson, pot, transporting pot. Yeah, my family lost everything, because my brother had some pot sent from when we moved from California to Maryland, and he just, had it sent UPS from his friend in California to him in Maryland, and the government used that to take away everything from my family. So yeah, but I didn't even think about that part that the UPS man played in my life. Just that we had a UPS man, and my mom used to call him the Ups man. And like, oh, he's a cute one, or she was very chatty and whatever. I'm the same way. I probably was very embarrassed by it as a kid. I don't know if it was that specifically parent embarrassment, but right now Riley loves it that I'm super chatty and whatever, but that's a good thing. Hopefully that doesn't change. But so yeah, I will definitely be diving into the UPS man. But thank you, Woody and Mom, and for this spontaneous gift. All right, let's see, because I think that's about where I was like, oh my god, and the UPS man, but we'll see.
Collect a sample after you're done.
Oh yeah, I paused just now because this is definitely like my family's sense of humor. Fucked up, dark. When my dad was dying, we were making like gallows humor jokes. With the hospice person who luckily was not like, oh my god, these people are so wrong and whatever. But yeah, so I think that's where I was like, pause. So I don't know if I watched beyond this, but we'll just see if there's anything else.
So go ahead, unleash.
I really don't feel comfortable doing this in front of you guys.
Would you feel more comfortable going in me?
Oh yeah, that was what it was. Another little thing. Yeah, it's just 22 minutes and 2 seconds. I was like, oh my god, if she says Pamela, I'm gonna die. But I paused it, so I have a feeling that is not what it is that's about to happen. I think it was just that this was supposed to be 22. It's supposed to be exactly what it is, but that would be fucking hilarious and just like beyond. Although you probably would think that I'm full of shit if it was like, oh yeah, you did not watch that.
I'm rooting on a little woman like me. Did that make you feel like a real man?
Oh my god, no. I just want to be screened for colon cancer.
Then go ahead. Destroy me, Daddy. Blow my box open.
Yeah, I want to see you blow that box wide open.
This is sick.
Just a personal note, fucked up humor is definitely me. I'm not usually a huge fan of potty humor, so to speak. That's hilarious. This is a fucking colon screening commercial. Well, a fake one. But specifically, like, I don't know what it is. It's just like that, and like sort of that's funny because that's my mom too. She always says like, I was such a prude, but that's not the word she used. What the hell was it? There's a word, a name, but it's not coming to me right this moment. But yeah, interesting. Like, that doesn't, maybe it's just my sense of humor, my taste. But yeah, that doesn't do it for me. But just the wrongness of this and the weirdness of like a box that is about to get pooped in, talking to Woody Harrelson or whoever this guy's, the commercial guy.
But not sick from colon cancer. So come on, just go inside her, then pass the super.
So here's something that is fucked up humor that is also like, what is me being like, okay, this is also probably a message saying, need to have your colon test. Although I already have a bunch of those tests scheduled, but my haha, like, fucked up joke in my head was like, what would be really fucked up is if it turns out I have colon cancer. But that is just a little peek in, so you see how it, like, something clicks. The serious side is, if this were not me, it would be like, oh, okay, maybe this is, my guides, my loved ones, my whoever talking to me, blah, blah, blah. And then on another level of paying attention, it's like, maybe you need to go get screened for colon cancer. So it's just levels of paying attention, of interpretation of information that comes at you, because as I have written and probably said in my few videos that I've recorded so far, the universe, the PTB, will talk to you by any means necessary. Oh, and that was something that Tammy mentioned on one of her things, that it was in my background, not the card reading that I was a part of earlier, but just one of the videos, is that when you're asking for signs from a loved one and you get it, and this is again, like, it's probably easier perhaps if you ask for something specific, but she was saying that if you ask for one of these signs, or just a sign, and then you get it, then whoever it is that you're trying to communicate with is like, yes, like, you got it. So you're going to keep seeing it again and again and again. And that happens to me with new signs, new synchronicities. It's like, oh, this new sort of whatever came into my life. And so I'll start seeing, like, blue, like he's wearing all blue. I already mentioned that, but just little things like that. So yeah, I just threw that in there for some reason. But okay, let's see. I feel like that was the end there. I'm like, energy-wise, I just felt a shift. But let's just let this play out, and we'll go from there. And then I'll probably just throw this up online and go do a little Googling of the name Thomas and doubting Thomas and whatnot.
Box to the UPS guy.
Get that box nice and warm before you hand it back to me.
I'll even close my eyes.
Jesus, that's good.
I see you peeking.
Oh my God! Wait, how many of you are there?
It's okay. We're just here to watch.
We're friendly, like minions. So go ahead and unleash.
Stop saying unleash.
They help if you knew their names.
No.
That's Kylie, Victor, Neil, and Siobhan.
We can't wait to see you unleash.
Yeah, no Pam, but I got the memo, Mom.
Actually good. I just remembered that I screened for colon cancer last year, so.
All right.
You wouldn't be lying.
Thanks for taking that little journey with me.
Also detect liars.
Now drop your pants,
Ruh-roh.
open his box, and this will all be over.
Just do what the little boxes say to do.
I'll give you what you want. Just please don't kill me.
Man, is Woody okay?
So I was about to just, like, pause. I had a little that it was like a shifted tone of the humor, the skit. Something that came up in the group reading was about, it may have been the same woman, but somebody is having some, like, grief issues, and I threw a comment out saying, complicated grief, definitely complicates things. That's not what I said, but I thought it, because I've said that before, or written that before. But something came up about, truth, and I think it was related. Like, what kept coming in my head for this woman, but I didn't want to be like, I'm not the person doing this reading. I'm just, like, a participant, was, like, family secrets, and, but I might have, like, said, like, something along with the complicated grief, because she said something like that she can't grieve in the way she would like to, or something like that. And the card was about honesty and truth and da 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 da. And so, the truth will set you free is such a true statement, but that was like, again, I didn't want to like chime in because I'm already like super wordy and chatty. And although I did just find out that empaths as a group, which I would call myself a part of, intuitive people, are one of the signs that you're an empath, because I was trying to figure out what it is that I do, like as far as like a term, whatever, like what is it that I do? Because I get information, I'm keyed in, talk to spirit, blah blah blah, but I'm not a psychic. I don't trance channel like my mom. And I was like, oh, what one is it? Claire, not clairvoyant, because or I don't have powers of telepathy, although I have said that, that develops in relationships with people, but I think that's just proximity and regular energy exchanges. But so I just might lose track here, but I was looking up in general, because I don't seem to like fit in a box. You can't like slap a easy label on me or what I do, which is no secret to me. It's something that I've actively like been proud of, but I'm finding it difficult in the age of like branding yourself, social media, blah 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 blah. Like, what's that I do? Like, yes, I'm a writer, I'm a communicator, I'm an intuitive counselor, da 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 da. But so I was looking up, clairaudient, da 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 da, which I think, of what I know, which is not a lot, according to the couple of pages of descriptions of what those things are, I believe I am clairaudient, hearing, because like the Michael, it was like that, these are words, this is a voice that is not my tone. Although I do get very deep and serious when I'm talking to Riley, and I'm like, you need to hear what I'm saying. Go brush your teeth. But so that is something, yes, I'm comfortable with that label. Clairsentient, right? That is, I think, thoughts, knowing, but claircognizant. I think I'm those three. I wouldn't say that clairvoyant fits, because that's pictures. But one thing that I was either writing or saying recently, I think I've maybe uploaded 5 of these videos, was, and it might have been the same day that I was looking that stuff up, the last video. Shit, what was it? Yeah, I've known things that I hadn't yet read and stuff when I was a kid. So that was like, how do I know what I know? Now, But anyway, back to the like truth thing. Just being open, honest, me being like, bleh, I'm verbally spewing all of this that was going to be a note to self, but turned into something entirely different. Just, go for it, because, we're all the same-ish, even though we're totally different and unique. We all want the same things, love and acceptance and, appreciation. We want to be able to pay for the things in our lives that we need and take good care of ourselves, or not take good care of ourselves, but on purpose, self-medicate, whatever your thing is. Comic books. Books. I love books. I'm rebuilding my collection in my room. Redoing. See? That one's empty. But yeah. Alright. I'm ending this now. Peace.